Hi, so today I will be talking about the book Island of the Blue Dolphins by Scott Odell, written in 1960. And you will see me looking down quite a bit because I have some written notes and an excerpt that I would like to share later on. So, Island of the Blue Dolphin talks about a young girl named Karana who survives alone on the island for 18 years. The reason why Karana is alone on the island was due to limited amount of resources that was left. And initially Karana was supposed to leave with her people, but she realizes after she got on the boat that her little brother Ramo was actually still on the island alone. So she actually swam back to the island and stayed with her brother. However, later on, her brother unfortunately passes due to a pack of wild wolves that was also left on the island. And I believe this is a pretty popular book because I remember reading it when I was like in middle school, I believe. And this book talks about themes of survival, strength, and connection to nature. And I believe it also talks a little bit regarding forgiveness, which I will be talking about later on as well. So, even though some parts of the story feels a bit outdated since it was written in the 1960s, I believe that it's still an inspiring book that teaches us about courage, resilience, and finding companionship even when we're alone, which is Karana's case right now. And I will be reading a excerpt from the book that actually shows Karana's growth. It starts off with, I did not kill the wild dog that first night, though I was tempted to. Instead, I carried him to my house and laid him on the floor by the fire. For many days, I did not leave his side except to go out and gather food. He was too weak to move, and he lay there watching me with eyes that seemed to say many things. I made him a bed of seaweed, which I changed often, and gave him fresh water to drink. When he began to chew on a piece of abalone that I had given him, I knew he would live. The dog and I became friends. It is true that he was an enemy of my people, but I no longer thought of that. In the days that followed, I gave him the name Rontu, which means fox eyes, because of the way his eyes shone in the firelight at night. He followed me wherever I went, and though he could not speak, I felt that he understood all that I said, just as I understood him. So, the reason why I chose this specific excerpt from the book is because it highlights the importance of connection and friendship even in isolation, as Rontu, the wild dog, becomes a source of comfort and companionship. So Rontu was actually considered a former enemy because he was the leader of the pack of wild dogs that actually killed Karana's brother, Ramo, in the beginning of the story, which is why I believe this book kind of talks about a bit of forgiveness as well, because I think it takes a lot of courage for Karana to not really let go, but kind of in that sort of way to actually help Rontu. So this book remains a classic because I believe that it's not just a survival story. I also think that it's about learning to adapt, find hope, and I also believe readers of all ages are able to connect with it, which is why I think this is a classic.